You ever notice how getting your life together can make you feel strangely alone? One day the old rhythm starts to fit less and less. The late nights feel heavier, the noise feels louder, the conversations feel a little flatter, and you start wondering if you are becoming better or just becoming distant. If that is where you are, this video is for you. I want to show you why self-improvement can feel socially expensive, how to tell healthy solitude from isolation, and the one small bridge that keeps growth from turning into emotional loneliness. Stay with me, because the last section is the overlooked part that helps you rebuild connection without betraying your progress. The thesis is simple. Growth usually changes your social rhythm before it changes your social world. Your habits shift first, your standards shift first, your environment catches up later. That gap can feel like loneliness, but it is often just transition. 1. The mismatch phase. Most people think something is wrong when their old life stops feeling natural. But often nothing is wrong. Your schedule changed. Your energy changed. Your priorities changed. What used to feel normal can start to feel draining. A long hangout feels too loud. A random night out feels too expensive in every way. A conversation that used to distract you now leaves you empty. The tiny action is to name it clearly. This is a mismatch, not a failure. Why it works is simple. When you stop turning discomfort into a verdict about yourself, your nervous system settles down, and the emotional payoff is huge. You stop fighting your own growth. 2. The grief you did not expect. There is real grief in outgrowing a version of life that gave you easy belonging, even if it was not good for you. You might miss the version of you that said yes to everything, the one that stayed out too late, the one that did not think so much, the one that belonged without trying. Sometimes you are not even missing people. You are missing ease. So give yourself the tiny action of letting that grief be real without using it as a reason to go back. Why it works is that grief handled honestly does not control you as much, and the payoff is peace. You can honor the old chapter without reopening it. 3. Solitude or isolation. This is where a lot of people get stuck. Solitude can be healthy. Isolation usually is not. Healthy solitude gives something back. It clears your head. It restores you. You go for a walk, make your coffee, sit in silence, and come back to yourself. Isolation does the opposite. It hides from discomfort and slowly shrinks your world. The tiny action is to ask one better question. After I spend time alone, do I feel more alive or less alive? Why it works is that it cuts through guilt. Not every quiet night is a problem. Not every social invite is good for you either. The payoff is discernment. You start choosing with clarity instead of fear. 4. The bridge, not the wall. This is where people often disappear. They get serious about their life, but instead of explaining what is changing, they become distant and hard to reach. They think protection means silence, but silence can become emotional distance very quickly. So the tiny action is to tell one honest person what is shifting, not a speech, just a real sentence. I am trying to live differently lately, and I am still learning how to stay connected while I do it. Why it works is that honesty gives relationships a chance to adapt, and the emotional payoff is relief. You do not have to carry your change alone. 5. The normal room. One of the hardest parts of self-improvement is feeling like your new habits make you weird. That is why it helps to find one room where your current values feel normal. A class, a study space, a gym, a quiet group, a volunteer project, a place where the way you live does not need an explanation. The tiny action is to put yourself around one environment that reflects who you are becoming. Why it works is that your growth stops feeling private and imaginary. You see it mirrored back, and the payoff is grounding. You remember that your new life is real. 6. The boundary reset. Not every old relationship needs to end. Some just need new terms. Maybe you stop doing late nights. Maybe you stop saying yes to plans that always leave you empty. Maybe you keep the friendship, but you stop expecting it to meet every need you have now. The tiny action is to change one pattern without making a dramatic announcement. Why it works is that boundaries do not have to destroy closeness. They can preserve what is still healthy. And the payoff is maturity. You stay honest without becoming harsh. Here is the deeper truth. A lot of people think loneliness means they are doing something wrong. But sometimes loneliness is just what it feels like when your identity is updating in real time. The old social script no longer fits. The new one has not become fully automatic yet. So there is a gap. And that gap can feel awkward, but it is not permanent. That is why growth feels lonely. Not because something is broken, because your life is changing faster than your world has adjusted. 7. The weekly social bridge. This is the overlooked idea, and it matters more than most people realize. Every week, build 4 small contacts into your life. 1 honest check-in. Text or call one person and tell the truth about how you are doing. 1 shared routine. Keep 1 repeatable moment with someone, even if it is small. 1 normal room. Spend time in one place where your current values make sense. 1 boundary reset. Notice 1 habit or relationship that is quietly draining you and adjust it without guilt. Why it works is that it keeps your progress connected to real life. The payoff is balance. You do not have to choose between growth and connection. Final perspective shift. The goal is not to become so focused on improving yourself that you disappear from your own life. The goal is to grow in a way that leaves room for warmth, honesty, and connection. Because if your progress makes you more disciplined but less human, something important got lost along the way. So ask yourself this: are you protecting your progress or are you hiding inside it? If you are in that quiet in-between place right now, be gentle with yourself. You are not losing your life. You are learning how to live it differently. And if this spoke to you, take 1 bridge step this week. 1 text, 1 call, 1 shared routine. That is enough to begin. Sometimes the loneliest part of becoming better is not that you are failing. It is that your old world is no longer large enough for who you are becoming.